Hi legends and welcome to my channel. Today I decided to go through a little bit of technical analysis about the crypto world and just analyzing a couple of stuff. I usually do these things on my own, so why not doing them with you guys? Let's start. So first, I hope that you can hear me and everything. In case, please put it down in the comments below so we can follow easier, okay? Now, what I usually do, first thing first, I have a first check on CoinMarketCap because it's a platform that I quite enjoy. Now, some charting and some other stuff are not amazing, so usually I prefer to rely on Binance for as much as I can because it's such a super professional platform that I really enjoy. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just playing, like everything that you want. Just you don't need to trust me. You need to make your own research. Blah 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 blah. I don't know exactly the script yet. I'm just starting. Okay. So now let's just have a quick look. So as you can see, now I'm just looking at the Bitcoin and USDT. This one is a daily chart. So the daily chart for me explains you a lot more than anything else. Because, for example, if you see it in this perspective, then yeah, these are big strokes. These are definitely big moves. Like, no question about it. But it also helps you to put it in perspective without looking at it like 1 hour. No, it's the end. No, I'm melting. No, you don't need to do that. So first thing first, start with something like daily, even weekly. This makes you get the perspective even more. Big move, unquestionably, like one of the biggest that it has ever done. But I mean, put it in perspective. So. But like this move was clearly big. It went up and down of like 10k in a week or less than that. So wow. But yeah, still, then this helps you like also putting the stop loss and something. Little disclaimer: I was making a little challenge with my trading account in margin, and I crashed it around here, for example. But I also start buying here. I offloaded over here, and then I started buying like all the way over here. I did not sell, and then as a result I got crushed. So I did a couple of mistakes as well. So do your own research, that's for sure. Okay, but anyway, I've been in the crypto world for 4 years now, 3-4 years I think, and I'm quite enjoying it. I really think that it's the future. But now let's just get to it. So when I want to look at it, I first try to look at all the main cryptocurrencies. Now, Bitcoin, see in the last hours, I've been moving not that much. Solana, my favorite, it's quite a mover. In the last 7 days went up of 12%, but it also was at the 210, which I held all my long term. And then it went back at like 110, so $100 kind of crash in nothing. So, it's very volatile. Then when you think about cryptocurrencies, think about startups. That's the way I see it, because they're projects with an incredible potential, which they will definitely go for it for me, but they are still young, so of course maybe they are not having the market that you expect. So it's going to take a moment before it actually gets going and it becomes a lot more stable. Even Bitcoin is moving quite rough still, and I think it's going to move even further. So let's say, no, not you, not yet. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are still on top. More than looking at the prices, especially for the others like a Dogecoin, which is like sky high. I'm holding it, but I have my price for Dogecoin does not put me in gain, still a 15 cent. What I look at it, it's more the market cap. I've been saying that it was more important to look at the market cap than the price like a while ago, but now apparently people are actually getting into it. Because if you see the market cap, 22 billions, and at 15 cents, it means that if Doge goes to $1, it does 7 times the amount that it's trading at the moment. So we are talking about quite some billions, right? And he can do it, but you know that when he goes to that moment, instead of buying to try to make that extra 50 cents, maybe you can do it in trading. But if you are long term investing in it, maybe you want to buy when it's below 10 billion, for example, or something like this. Try to be realistic, because many times I've been really trying to buy cheap, 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 cheap. My latest was Palantir, which is an American stock. I wanted to buy it around 17. I start buying at 22 for my retirement portfolio, and then I just bought a tiny little fraction of what I wanted, and now it's trading at 24, 25. Maybe now it broke, but breaking 25 is probably going to go quite higher. So yeah, I could not really buy more than 20% of my position, unfortunately. But anyway, like, let it come to you. I will probably trim when it goes higher, and then go back and keep adding when it goes lower through my price points, because that's how I like it. Then another one that it's worth seeing is this Toncoin for me, because I didn't buy it because I already spent all my money and I was maxed out when this popped to my eye. But the funny fact is that I've seen it when it was like around here, I think, and I really thought it was a beautiful project, even because of the technical analysis. Now you can see it. I don't know. No, okay. But anyway, in here, it was a very good and important level. So after it dipped and then tried and could not break any further, as it popped from here, it went all the way on support/resistance on the previous high, and then it went for it on the previous high before the big high, and then it started going for it. This project is beautiful for me. I'm really enjoying it, to be honest, even if I could have 6x my money and the bull run did not even really start yet, unfortunately. Because this one was I think it was the crypto developed by the Telegram team, if I'm not wrong. And then what happened to them is that they kind of had to drop the project, like Libra for Facebook, and somebody else started working on the project, or they open sourced it, I think. And then the project actually started getting traction, because of course it was a very solid project with quite some budget behind it. So when I saw it over here, I really thought it was a great kind of purchase, not just above $1, like 110, 120, I think. I was in a museum that day that I saw it. And now it's kind of actually picking up. So as a matter of fact, if you go and look at the market cap at the moment, total supply, where are you? Market cap, we are at 20 billion. Now, to be honest, at 20 billion a Toncoin, I think it's underpriced compared to what it can go to, because it's a solid project, because there are actual infrastructures behind it and stuff. So it's like buying a company that is still about to start. Now, if you compare it to like Solana, it's a lot more established because of the non-fungible token market, and many other, like Blur as NFT marketplace is exploding and beating also OpenSea. Check that out. It's like it stunned me. I did not expect it. I really like NFTs, by the way, and on Solana, it's just the only way to go. So, for example, Solana. Okay, so Solana over here, I've been buying it as low as here, and my maximum buy was around here, I think. Yeah, so, why did I not sell it? Why did I not sell it at 250? I wanted the 500 level. But now it's coming back, so now it's kind of resisting. If it will be able to break the 150 and stay above that, we can expect at least a 210, kind of a retracement over here. And if it breaks this, I don't think that it will double top at 260. Maybe it will just bounce back to 210, and then I believe that this time it can easily make it to 500. And if this happens, it means that this would be like 4 times the market cap, okay? Now, I don't think it's crazy, even if it's crazy, because market cap wise, if it does even say like a 4x from here, anyway, it's less than 300 billion as a market cap. This is a solid project because the theoretical limit of Solana transaction per second is like 860,000 transactions per second. And if I'm not wrong, all the circuit, MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and all the rest in the world put together today would not be able to sustain this traffic. So unless too many meme coins skyrocket in the same time and Solana goes down, I think it's very difficult. By the moment they are just making like 50,000, 60,000 transactions per second because it's not even fully optimized. So it means that it can at least decouple in the amount of transaction it can do, and it's fairly cheap as transaction power, so as transaction cost for the gas fee. So I believe it's simply the best because it's the best infrastructure. Then write it down in the comment if you don't think that that's the case. I personally think that the fundamentals of Solana are the best. They're also having a line of phones, and so that they are blockchain enabled. They're the first blockchain phones on earth. They are solid. I've been having it in hand, even if I did not buy it because I'm stupid, literally, and I'm stupid. I had an NFT or the pre-sale and stuff. I didn't buy it right away, and then it got sold out too quick, and that was it for me, unfortunately. But the new model is coming out soon, so it also has some kind of other potential behind it. So I really think it's a beautiful one. So let's just go and look at it a little bit more in detail. I hope I will not show you how much money do I have. I hope I ticked the bar right. Okay. Not yet at least. So as you can see now it went down to like 115, almost 110, and this one was simply a technical because as you can see it day by day. No, but this one was super sad. In this dip, it was like the first or the second of the year. Last year, I wanted to buy it, but Binance was completely out of market. I wanted to buy like 2,000-3,000. Imagine. I did not let me buy. This was so sad. I tried. And anyway, like this one is a technical. So even if I want to put it like this, then you can see that over here. No, I don't want you. Not this one. Allora. Not the Fibonacci retracement, not yet. So what I'm putting now, I'm putting a couple of lines to figure out how it's playing. So now, an important level was this one. Another important level, it's definitely this one to mark down because, and now I will explain it. So, this basically showed, I don't remember if there was a prior move at that price point. Actually, let's play it even funnier. Let's put the levels like it doesn't matter, and then I will just double check whether they are right or wrong with the levels that happened after. So a level, just to explain in case that you are actually a beginner, so yeah, you just want to learn about it. These levels are essentially price points. The reason why they are important is not that they just look good because, oh yeah, it just hit that level and then it moved in that way, but because they are prices in which you can understand that there is a little bit more volatility than in other places, or that there is a little bit more volume of transactions. Why? Because now I will explain. If you buy over here, and I mean, if you are a little fish, then you buy it anywhere and you will always have the liquidity to go in and out. But if you have a lot of money, then you don't want to buy in a very stretched amount of price points or selling it in a very stretched amount of price points, because this can really cut a good portion of the money that you were basically about to make. So you really need to be careful about it, and investors like the big ones, whales in the case of crypto, are definitely careful about this specifically. Plus, the other reason, and this one is called support resistance, and it's both, because in here it creates resistance of price. You look at it from the point of view of the bulls usually, but you can think bear, you just need to reverse the numbers and stuff, and that's basically the same thing. The only difference is that if you go bull, it can go up infinitely. If you go bear, it can go up infinitely, but you are against it. So yeah, up to you. Anyway, what happens is that in here it was creating resistance of level because probably in the past people have been buying or selling in that price points. So the people that went out or did not get out will move around that price because it's probably their break even, or maybe it's the level before or after, and then they know that next thing they know they are going to be in break even or stuff like that, or maybe they were in loss and they just want to get out before it's too late, at least without making too many damages to their wallet. So these are important levels for this reason and many other reasons. As a matter of fact, you see it bouncing. Here, it's making a problem in breaking, but once it does it, it goes up. Then in here, it reached a moment in which it was way too extended. This one are moving averages. So this one are the explained simple. This one is a technical indicator. And what it represents, long story short, the last candle average price. So for example, of the last amount of candles, of course. So like this one, as you can see, simple moving average 9. So this does not take in account the volume, or this does not take in account this kind of stuff. This one is just the price point raw and simple. So even a candle with a lot of volume counts just as much as the other one. So it's a very simple way to see it. So when you start going too far away from these lines, it means that the price went too up too quick, which means that is going to get punishment, but not just because they are sadist or something. Maybe some they are, but the reason is it's going to keep pulling back and stretch back to the average price, simply because if you bought it in here and 2 weeks after you have tripled your money, when there are people that in a year make like 15-20% of their portfolio and they are happy, and you just tripled your money on that, what you gonna do? At least half you take it. So boom, and then maybe you see that it starts going down, or maybe not, so maybe then you sell a bit more, so then it rests. So what usually does, it starts resting on higher period moving averages, but this makes it go a lot more parabolic, or it makes it go higher faster. So you always need to be careful and maybe try to pay yourself all the way, because yeah, I mean, you just don't want to really be the fool, you know what I mean? So yeah, this is very important. So, like, save yourself, guys. And so it's going to kind of try to retrace to the averages, and then of course this one is the moving average 99, which is usually used at 200 on the daily as maximum. I just didn't set it for some reason. And okay, so in here you see that had been bouncing on the 200, on the 100, but not only it bounced on the 100 and crashing from here. So from here you're like, wow, okay, if it crashes and it breaks this level, you know that the next one is this one. So as a matter of fact, I actually sold my Solana like right over here on the margin account, just in the trading challenge that I was doing, that I already tripled my account in 2 weeks, and then I crashed it like a stupid because I was depressed. And anyway, like over here, I should have known that it could have probably bounced from here, which hell if it did. And then it crashed. Next level down, you know that it's on this line, because the price of the last 100 candles was aligning to that. So the last 100 candles average price, it's this one. So this one is the past 100 candles, so on and so forth. Which means these people that are here, then when they think that it can go here, they sell. Or if they see that it's too far away, it's not that they want to dump all the assets and forget it. They just want to make sure that they are actually going to take some money off the plate. So meanwhile they take some or everything, and then when it bounces back, usually they buy it. This keep happening and keep pumping the price higher and higher and higher, and people are happier. It stops when people start thinking that they made enough money, or that it's way too far away, so they start looking for something else that is a little bit less risky of an asset. Plus there are the traders that see it very extended and start shorting it, so it goes down. But I don't think that we are there yet, to be honest, because, yeah. So, how this is playing out. Now, another level, it's here around the 160. So we are pretty close, but honestly 150 for me was another very important level. And below this one there should be the 47, that I don't know if it's going to match. Yeah, 47, okay, this one for me is the most important because it's the one that I don't think it will ever go below this price ever again. So just so you know, if it goes to around 500, I offload my asset, and I love it, but I will try to buy it around 50 bucks per share. These are personally my price points, but do your own research. Don't rely on other people only. Just not trust it's something good for blockchain. So anyway, like this. And I'm putting the line in this way because you basically what you want, it's you don't want to be like picture perfect. Oh wow, I just put it in that little spot and it was cool. Let's see if somebody put some comment. No, or just comment below if there is somebody watching. You know, at least I know that I'm not talking to a phone. So the point is, when it hits, you need to figure out what are the lines, what are the prices which is most likely to move in the opposite direction, unless it breaks and then it goes parabolic. So you want it to be hitting in the most possible points that are the most relevant. So you want to kind of put it as an average line that makes a lot of sense for you and for the other people, because many times it hit in that moment. So this one was a false breakout. So it went past and then it broke briefly above that. This one was happening around 11 midnight when it happened, like on that day. And then it slumped. When it slumped hard because it could not make it to that level. People sold, saw that it was super extended, said, no, let make somebody else lose their money. I just want to take the profit. Thank you very much, legends. So this happened, and then it slumped, then it tried again. This was a double top. Okay, technical analysis. Double top, and then it couldn't make it. Usually if it goes down from a double top, it's not going to triple top. Maybe it does, but if it triple tops and does not break, expect the worst. From a double top, at least 1-2 levels down, it's going to do it. Now I could put levels even for this one, for example, but the way I see it is that it was not that relevant because it's about the respect that you get from each and every level. If you see it, in here there was some sort of respect and a little bit of breakout, resting and then pushing. But the reality, the truth of it is that even in here, it went down, but it just went to the moving averages and respected the 110 and something. So this part, more than putting an extra micro level, which it would make sense if you were trading, kind of day trading or something, because you want to look at stuff from closer. But since I'm making a longer term type of analysis right now, I don't think that this is going to be a level that really matters for my purpose. If you are trading, then yes, sure, you want to have the right time frame for it. But now I'm just going to show you, for example, on my favorite. Allora, can I take this down a little bit? Come on, give me some grace. Okay. Wow, okay. Okay, so 9, because in here it mattered, in here it kind of mattered, and for the rest it was just a little fling, to be honest. So yeah, I would not rely on that specifically at the moment. I would not consider it too much. And then by the way, this one it's a range. Okay, then I will just put all the other lines because yeah, actually I had to do it. But 259, okay, it was, yeah, 260, it was the all-time high. I kind of remember this stuff by memory, which is kind of worrying. Yeah, and then you also see that this was a false breakout because it did not even hit the following level before going lower. Okay, lower. God, I'm trimming. And yeah, so in here, this was kind of important. In here, flashed bad, but at least kind of created the level. Flashed bad, went up. In here, you can see the parabolic move of a bull flag resolution or a multiple bull flag resolution. It means that in here, it broke the pattern that was existing before and started going. Then it pissed me off because, to be honest, I wanted to buy it as an ICO at lower than that, like between these two lines at 20 cents a token they were offering it, but I did not get filled, and there were 12,000 people in the queue that bought it all before it was my turn. So sadly, I'm not a crypto millionaire because of this. Peace. It will come. So once this broke and it did this kind of level, this already looked like a full resolution. But then you see what happens after, and what happened before didn't matter basically anyhow compared, like similar to Bitcoin, but in a larger scale, quicker. And in here you can see it, kind of macro bull flag with many other resolutions in smaller time frames. In here, kind of breaks. Va bene. Goes here, little pullback, which means people thought, hey, the maximum was like 40, 50, 60, now it's like at 80. Let's take some money that you never know. And then people start buying it crazy again. Went basically parabolically high, touching past 200 and something, crashed with the rest of the crypto market back then, and then went for the last briefer, going even higher than before. So imagine if you bought it somewhere over here, and then you sold it somewhere over here, you bought it back somewhere over here, you sold it over here. Fuck, why did I not do that? Why? And there were friends of mine telling me, why don't you sell some? But anyway, peace. Then boom, then I bought it somewhere over here, and thank you very much. I'm happy anyway. So this one, bam, a resolution, which I can put even in this way, trend lines. So in here, let's say this one, it's about the resolutions. So in here, this is a level. So it created one band over here. This one was a bull flag, even if not so perfect, but very bullish, let's say. It just rested less than 50% of the extension. So anyway, it's within the Fibonacci retracements and stuff. So yeah, okay, this one was safe. It was a safe call. Actually, in this moment, I start trading it from here. I sold it here, I bought it back over here, I went over here, and then I mismanaged because I was going to bull. Peace. And anyway, another line that I can draw. Allora. Because the past ones don't really matter that much. Oh, this one is a cool one. Let's see how much it extends after. But this, I think that it will be important in the future. And now I will explain you why. I just don't want to screw it before I start talking. Okay. I'm making a workout with the fingers. Allora. Okay, you see, like this one, it's an important ascending kind of resistance support bar, because in here it starts forming, didn't really matter, but for curiosity I also want to extend it over here and see if it ever mattered before that. Okay, yeah, not so much, but anyway, I think that this one actually is going to be a playful level to go to. Because, okay, this one shows how it kept rising in price. So basically, it's like, I see it a bit like the median price for an ascending kind of movement, which is not completely parabolic, but it's going pretty high, pretty fast. Because this one, it's like at 35 degrees or something. so it's not doubling in price every X time as a technical indicator, but it's almost. So hey, it's quite important. So I mean, it's very solid as an uptrend, I would say. And more than 45 degrees, it's usually considered parabolic, and it's basically unsustainable, especially for the very long run. But just below 45, it's a very solid kind of price move. And you see here, start touching and then touched over here. This price and this price didn't matter. But considering the price and the resistance and the speed of the movement, that kind of created a speed line of trend for me. So then it went, as you can see, it broke, but it broke this level, pulled back a little bit over here, and then broke for real because it went completely higher than that. What also happened afterwards was that then it started resting back. You see, in here got bought straight away, did not even touch, it touched this level, which actually randomly was the break of this trend line and it just drew. Okay, curious. And then it kind of like bounced back, tried to stay here above, then crashed, tried again, could not sustain it, tried again, and then went below this level. It went below this level, but it's an uptrend move anyway, so you need to see it in vision that you are not dead necessarily, but I mean, it's going to be it's going to be a wild move. Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, okay? When it goes up over here, it touches these points and then it touches these other points in the same place. So that means that this was some investor or some trader that knew that there was a lot of fluidity. So they started using their resources, the big money, in these kind of moments. So, and this also tells you that people were just probably buying and then they try to get rid and sold. A technical indicator that I don't have anything similar to that right now with me, but this is called a cup, okay, because it's the form of a cup with a handle, okay. When you see this, it's an indicator that usually resolves high and then it just goes after, but you need to make sure that you saw it in the right time frame and you're sure what you're doing, because if you start buying when it's over here and you did a mistake, then if it crashes, then it's difficult that it's going to go back high. So as you can see, like in here, went and then kept sustaining over here, similar to what it did in this part that you can see, after resting a little bit, went high. In here, it shows that the price briefly went up and then went deep down again. And if you look it in smaller time frames, you will see it clearly. I'm just making longer term type of analysis right now. So I'm using the daily, or yeah, not even the weekly, the daily, by the way, because it's wild. And it sustained high, crashed, went back up right away. So people understood that this level already touched whether was for the short term and not for the long term, already got cut out. Like all the traders that were just making that little investment or something, they got margin called, and then somebody big have been buying over here. And it's difficult because this stuff can happen in this thing, I think it happened, I went for a pizza or for a burger, and then I closed my trade that I was making somewhere over here, and then it flashed back. That was, oh my god, and then I bought it back, and then it was nice for the ride. But yeah, I didn't buy it like here because I was walking back home. So yeah, and then there was an automat of pizza, which was curious, and meanwhile all of this was happening and I was walking in that hour, basically this happened. So this is a daily candle, but this happened in no time, seriously, in the evening. In Europe, I mean. And then it went back high. So sustained. This one was a bear trap essentially. So you were thinking it was crash it, and instead, no, if you were still short, you are dead now. So this is what happened. And now it went all the way up. Touched the 2010, 2018 briefly, 4 seconds probably. A false break, and then it touched. In here, this one was probably, it's basically a bear trap, which also shows that the price is not dead, it's probably going to keep moving in this direction. It trembled, went up again, randomly touched this line over here and over here, okay, and when it went down for the previous level. So this also tells me that this is probably the right type of move, the right kind of price point. And then now it's approaching back up. So what I'm imagining is that minimum now other $7 it goes. So if you are for the short term, I believe that minimum other 7 francs up for here, it can totally go. Now don't make it 10 to 1 margin or something, because if it goes down of that much you are dead, but consider your own risk. But at the moment, if you want my personal opinion, and I'm not a financial advisor, blah 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 blah, I don't even know exactly what to say. I'm a rookie, don't listen, don't put the money where I say, because otherwise I go to jail. So, or if you do it, do your own research first. But if you were to consider a trade like this, now over here, you see that the downside, if you are wrong, is more than $10, but the upside, if you are right, starts from 7. So this point is a little bit too costly. So either you wait below the 150 and you buy it, because in this way you can put the stop loss that is less than your profit. So in this way, in a way, it makes sense if you do that, because you can make more than what you can lose as long as you respect whatever rules you set up for yourself, or you put automatic stops or whatever you want. But it also tells me that if he breaks the 160, it's not good enough, because it should do a bit more. At least to my calculations, maybe it should go up to here, it should go to like 166. So the way I would say it, I would consider offloading like half around 160, another quarter around 166, because then I will expect it will touch back around 160. If it touches back to 160, I can also imagine that for a move like this, it could go back around this level, maybe 155, something like that, briefly for a moment. So what I would do, I would sell, okay, legends, you need to look it from closer, because otherwise you become blind to listen to what I'm saying now. Okay, vabbè, raga, better than this at the moment I can't, I'm so sorry. And okay, so the way I would play it, to be honest, I would wait for it to go around 150 and then buy. Put the stop that if it goes below 140, don't enter with too much money, but at least use it to accumulate your position in here for me, by taking some profits, so you're covering yourself, so you don't get stop out in a total loss, even if you get a stop loss call, but you don't get a margin call. So when you do something like this, around 150, take off half at 160 to stay safe, another quarter around 165, something like this. If it's completely dialed in, that would be $167, give or take cents. So 167 in the next, if it does it in the next 3-4 days, it should most likely be the level, otherwise it could even be 170, in a week it will be 170 this price. But yeah, don't rely on that. So if this happens, you do buy 150, sell 160, half, sell other half of the remaining position around 165, 166. So you already made a profit of like an average of $12 a share, which is pretty good, because if you buy it now and you sell it at 160, then you made 7. With this strategy, you made an average price of like $12 gain per share. So that's pretty cool instead. And you still have a little bit of a position, which I would put stop loss at break even. So if it goes to break even, then okay, sayonara ragazzi. Otherwise, you can start loading back. And you can start loading back around 155. And then put stop loss at break even, or a little bit in loss, because you have the profits that will cover you and you will be anyway in gain already. If this happens, expect that the next level is going to be like 190. If it breaks the 190, there is the 200 psychological level, which is always in play, because it's a psychological level, because it's a round number, and that's $200. So many people are like, I just want to buy 1,000 Solana at an average price of $200 each. And if you do, I'm really happy for you because I don't have this financial disponibility at the moment. Unfortunately, I would like to be a validator of Solana. I need 4,000 coins. But with this said, you can expect basically this kind of move. If he breaks this, you can expect it to go around the 200 and something. If he stays high enough and he goes and he retraces back to maybe 200, you can imagine it going to at least 500 where it belongs because of the Ethereum market cap and because of the Solana validity of the system. Around 500 is probably going to be very extended, so I will offload like the widest majority of my position. I've been placing also the Fibonacci retracement about it. I don't remember exactly when, but actually I'm going to probably ask it to ChatGPT as well to be cool. So let me just bring it to you. I discovered that ChatGPT 4, okay, not 3.5, is super sexy because you can really ask anything you want and it's going to time that in correctly. So I was amazed. What is the Fibonacci retracements from Sol OTH? So now let's see what it says. This one is super technical. What are Fibonacci retracement? Fibonacci was a guy that went to India, like in the 16th century, I think, and then came back with the knowledges of this Indian that were putting the prices for the discounts in the market at like these kind of levels. They were following the 0.618 kind of ratio, which happens a lot with nature as well. So they figured it was kind of a natural ratio, and they start using for market prices essentially of how to sell, how to discount at the end of the night, and stuff like this, maybe for vegetables. Then he came back and was like, ah, yeah, like, so let's use these levels. And back then he didn't even know that then they would have been widely used for hardcore financial. But back then it was the hardcore financial in a much simpler world. So then they figured that ratio 0.618 and the reverse of it, which is 1.618, made a lot of sense. So by making these extensions and retracement, he could understand a lot of stuff that happened in nature. And the reason why it works is that a lot, no Ash, ATH, Cristo Santo, dai. Ok, vabbè, let's see what it does meanwhile. Okay, yeah, now it's also explained it. So, okay, usually it does it. As my last update, I can't browse the internet or access real-time data, so I'll need you to provide the current or recent price information, such as the all-time high and significant. With this data, you can calculate. Could you provide that information? Phew, seriously? It was making it without any problem, so probably got banned. So maybe I was one of the first that was making it and I made it a bit too public. Sorry. Allora. So, vabbè, okay. So, all-time high was 260. Okay. What's your last price update? It's not true because it was doing it without any problem. I also have the chat for it. Knowledge up to December 2023. I don't understand. It was doing it to me. It was not a problem. It was literally like communicating with everything and getting all the prices and everything else. I don't understand. Vabbè, OTH was 260 and low from that was 7.78. From then it went to 210 and then pulled back 215, 215 and then pulled back to 117, and now it's at 153. Let's see what it says now. I think that is still making them off, because usually it takes a moment. But anyway, like meanwhile, since I can't rely to them, to ChatGPT only right now, I will put it on my own. So at the moment, we know that these are pretty much the levels, and I hate the way that they are shown in here, but that's fine. But so let's put it like this. Okay, so these are my levels right now. And it says, okay, you see, like I put the all-time high over here, and then I put the all-time low that it formed from that moment, which was like, yeah, around 700, 780, 7 whatever. The dip was just, at $8, I wanted to buy everything I had. But yeah, no regrets. So, okay, you see, like the levels in here are so beautiful, and then I just want to see what it says about it. But you can see that people did follow this retracement, so as to be listened and as to be looked at. Because from here, it went to around this level, there was the 23% level, 67. In here, it actually flirted with death and life, so that was respected. This other level over here was respected, that was the $100, more or less. So it was actually respected. In here it was 133 and 63. This one was respected over here and was a false break over here. But yeah, it never reached over here. So this one, but this is the 50% level, no? I think the 50% level, it's by the way, it's just it's the only Fibonacci retracement that is not a Fibonacci retracement, but it's put there just because it's half, and for many humans this makes sense, so they put it there and they consider it. But this is not the only one that is not a Fibonacci retracement on its own. So the following level over here, why do I need to become blind to make a streaming? 0.60 something, 61, I don't know. Anyway, like I read it from here because I can't do it, around 163. So 163, you can see this one really held, and that was basically also like an important line which I drew like few dollars away, so like $2 away on a movement like this, it's nothing, $2. And the last one before the all-time high actually was the Fibonacci retracement, which from here and the low was respected to the cent and was around the $200. So, wow, seriously, did this really happen? So yeah, it really did. So this also shows that you don't need to have 1,000 lines and stuff, because even here it would be complicated for me to understand that there is this level and this level and this level. Then you start clogging it and you start not being able to read anything and not to think. So now I'm going to remove it, but it's very important for you to be able to draw in real time this kind of stuff, and then also set the levels or remember the level and then put them down. So what it tells me now, that this is a confirmation that this level of the 160 is going to be basically make it or break it. If it does not make it, then I would consider also going short. But to be honest, I don't want to short Solana. I'm sorry, it's my favorite, and then it's the best. So it's like saying I want to short Apple in the long term. It's like, I don't know, man. Do what you feel. I know very well that this is going to be most likely the level in which it will just end up. If it breaks over here, you can expect it to aim back again to 200. So this is essentially a 30-40% upside, which is very likely. If you want to make sure you can buy and make this micro trade like this to start accumulating and making some money to then move to the following trade, being able to sleep in the night because it goes 24/7 and you can't afford to stay in front of the computer 24/7 unless you're a computer. If you're a computer, put a like anyway and put a comment, I'm a computer, so I will freak out, okay? And so we know that the next level is this one, 260. If this breaks, then hallelujah, let's go. Hey ho, let's go. So yeah, now, are you going to go away? You need to go away. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, basically I didn't even realize because basically all this level were the one that I marked already, and that just made it way quicker, way simpler, way nicer. So yeah, this is definitely a good way to go because many people are actually looking at that. Okay, so what is a bull flag? Okay, I forgot. Okay, welcome everybody. So the bull flag in this case, it's you can see it in here, for example, or it's when the price appreciates and goes straight up, and it goes straight up and then rests because of course people are taking the money out because that's what you want. So people are taking the money out over here, or like this one, it's a bigger bull flag to show. So like in here, let's say it did a smaller bull flag to start because then all the movement become bigger and more parabolic as well. So, and then it went boom, high. Then it start resting and it start making a range of price, which then you can go even more in detail after. Okay, so you can even go more in detail and then you can start seeing the different A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah pattern. But this one is a little bit complicated for now. But what you see is that it's forming this kind of wedge, which is looking like a flag. And the stick tells you how long and how extended it is. What you don't want is to have more than 50% of this movement. That you don't want it to go below this 50% of the stick extension of the bottom to the top, because if it goes below the 50%, it's most likely going to go down below, and maybe you better be short, so sell against the market instead of buying, hoping that the price will go up. Go short and go the other way around. But this is just a technical analysis. Then, of course, if you really believe that the price is going to keep appreciating, like me for Solana, I would consider it just in a very tiny fractional kind of case, because I just imagine that the price will go higher following more or less this trend over here. So yeah, this is the bull flag. So it forms, so in this case it was starting from here, making a little resting and then extending. In here you see that it did not make an extension, it did not go below the 50% of the extension, and as a matter of fact, it forms this wedge. When this wedge kind of breaks upwards, then you expect exactly this movement. This is actually a very well explanation, because what it does, the support, the resistance, so the price that was keeping hitting like pam, 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 and did not break, then it also becomes on the other way. So it starts becoming a support. So pam, 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 and does not break down as well. So it plays in both directions. With this happening, you know that the price can go in three directions mainly. So it can go up, it can go down, or people can stop caring. So it can go sideways because people are just waiting, or they lost attention and they just moved the money somewhere else. These are the three cases scenarios for everything in life, unfortunately. So yeah, you just need to be like this. In this case, it went up. So it broke, it rested again. As I was saying before, it did like a teacup, cup and handle. So it created this type of movement. then it rested, which means it broke this flag as well, touched this other level, almost picture perfect really, and rested back, went to the support over here, which also was on this, you can see from here, but yeah, it went on this kind of line. This one was another support resistance, but was less important, let's say. It was more of this kind of wedge support. It touched here, did not even care about retracing back to the 99 moving average exactly, even though it might have done it in that moment. I don't know, because this one gets adjusted with the following lines as well. And then it went, not for the stars yet, it's not the price at which I will sell it, but yeah, this is it. And I'm leaving it in staking, all the rest, so I'm making like 0.05 Solana or something like this every 3 days, something like that, 2 days, 3 days. So I mean, I don't care. If it goes to my price in a year, I'm happy anyway. And this is the bull flag. Now, what happens when things go south instead? They really go south. Because if you see this one from here, then to here, it went bam, all the way up, okay? Then this one was a retracement of 50%. In here it did a double top, so it means that it tried to break and to go for it. In here did anyway a little. Come on, mouse, you are Apple. Okay, so let's say that, okay, this line goes here. So now I would say that this one was the most likely kind of resolution. Yeah, I would say something like this, to be honest. Okay, so it went from here, it went bam, all the way up. This one was less than 50% retracement, so people have been selling less than they've been buying on average. Or if they've been selling, then they've been buying lower, so they just wanted to take some profits and keep adding to the position for a further move by taking some money off the table and then putting it back in or adding more to the position. And then went here back up, double top, didn't make it, start crashing, broke. This one formed something that is called death cross, which I will explain in another moment, went down back again, and then crashed back all the way basically over here. So this was a very, very heavy move, but I mean, yeah, part of the game. So then now it's kind of resting. Now what I expect from this type of move from here. Now this one, as I said, was a death cross. It means when the average price of a short-term movement starts going below the price of a long-term movement, which is the other average, which has got more numbers to it. When this happens, wow, it's not great, because it means that the trend is kind of changing tide. So you don't want to have this happening as well. So once this happens, usually starts slumping down, and unfortunately there is not that you can do about it. But then in here, it starts showing strength again, and now you can see that this the long-term parable, it's going to be intertwined, and the short term is going to go back high again. So what you can expect from here is that most likely the price is going to keep appreciating. It's probably going to retrace to this level, almost for sure to this level, and when it starts flirting in this kind of scenario, you can expect it to break and go to around 190 at least. If it goes 190, 200 in this type of area, well, if it double topped, crashed, and then went back up, usually this is a sign of strength, because it means that people over here did not want it lower, even if it was not looking good, start buying and went back to the price in which it was before. When this happens, usually it means that it might go sideways for a little longer, but it's much more likely that it will break and go for the stars. This is just my way of seeing, by the way. Allora, no, We talk about a couple of others, but yeah, not so much because yeah, I just want to keep it contained in time as well. Allora, first thing first, let's see the Polkadot that at least put a GIF. So I expect now that the price will go at least 10x because of that, like, and then if they put a dog in the meme, it's going to 100x for sure. My God. Anyway, Polkadot is a very solid system. So, Shiba Inu, that is 12th, come on. But Shiba the Inu, they made it kind of a meme, but then also they have something behind it because they kind of created as a platform. A little bit alla Ethereum, alla Solana, alla BNB. But yeah, I mean, this could go, and let's see what else. Okay, let's see what else I would like to see. Polygon is still at 70 cents, pisses me off. Internet Computer, I was working just less than 300 meters from the headquarters. And so yeah, let's do Internet Computer because it's a very solid blockchain. I definitely had been talking with the people, even in hackathons, even in... Was it the one I won? Oh no, it was the other one. Was another event, but I also talked with all of them. I've been serving them at the bar where I was working as well. So yeah, they are cool people and they really know what they are doing. And the system itself enables ways of operating in the world that are not exactly the one that you would imagine. There is a lot more to it. I'm still studying it. I'm still entering the community slowly, especially with whitelist, which is fun. But yeah. Internet Computer, let's go with it. Okay, on this one I bought it like an idiot. Okay, just don't look at that. Okay, I don't know exactly why the price went slumped like this from the beginning. I really don't know. I always forgot to ask them. I think I have some contacts, I might. But anyway, doesn't matter, anyway, I bought it up at around 40 something, somewhere over here. And went up, Flirt went up, was not appreciating enough, especially because I was much younger, and then slumped back again. So kept going down, then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, my God, is dead, and then it started pumping quite some. Because went back from like 5 till 20. So who bought it at 5 quadruple on their money just like that. So you can imagine that even in this move looks small, not that small. Anyway, now I'm really thinking, when I was seeing at this level, I couldn't believe it because I was like, I don't think it's dead. Now I maxed out the amount of money, but this that I decided to invest because I don't want to invest money that I need. I don't want to invest money saying this needs to go in this direction or not, because then I can't see clearly, and this would really trouble me because I'm quite anxious. So and I really want things to go right. So if I add these stars on top, then it's not going to be sustainable, unfortunately. So vabbè, anyway, like, doesn't really matter. And so a level over here. Now let's put some levels because why not? So in here is going to be extended. Let's make it horizontal. Die. I hope that you can't hear the click too much, but it's very close to the mic. So yeah, sorry. Okay, so vabbè, this one is a level, and this one in here will be a bit more detailed because I expect the moves to be a bit less wide, at least for the very beginning. And then when you see these lines, you don't need to see these lines like has to be exactly at that center, unless they are in very small time frames, like you are really day trading, so you need to be timed in by the center. But if you are buying for long term, hey, like if I bought at let's say if I buy it at $8 and 2 years after it goes close to the $8, I will not sell exactly a break even. I will put it maybe 20-30 cents higher, just not to feel an idiot. So this becomes the bigger the time frame, the more it goes from line to bend. So then you also need to sit with the idea of all the time and stuff. So yeah, this works as well. So this went down, 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 and now it's retracing. Now, honestly, I don't think that these prices are super important because this is a very funny chart. I really need to ask why and what happened because this doesn't really make sense. Either they made it as fundraising, so they released it at an incredible high price or something, and then they start selling at the super high price, and probably by year they already bought a full establishment which is like 5 floors big in the center of Zurich. So wow, okay, and that's exactly how it went for me. And now it's keeping going down, 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 down. So that's the level that I will put over here. This is 100% level. Whatever, I'm not even looking at the prices. I'm just these prices here at the moment. I don't care because I don't want to be judgmental, thinking this must be the level. I just want to look it in the chart and see when people sold and bought, because that's when they really thought it was a good idea or a bad idea to sell. So that's when they will act after, regardless of the price, and the psychological levels also need to be kind of followed. Now it's in such long time frame that I would say give or take 10%, 5% from the line price that I drew, maybe at least a 2% of tolerance up and down, which creates almost a 5% band, can be a better idea to sit. But anyway, just if we want to be super optimistic, about $55 at the moment. I don't know if he's going to do it, but anyway, I'm just putting them for God's sake. So let's say this one are the levels, then this one, no, this one I refuse to put it because I don't believe in it. Bye. So these are the levels. Now if I want to see it a little bit more micro, I want to also put if things go south, how much it can be painful, just in case you are actually trading it. So let's say the real level, it's vabbè, come on, this is a level for sure, but now I'm trying to figure out if this was respected decently. Another thing that you can do, it's if the more confident you are about a level because you're seeing it in a bigger time frame and got respected much more and much longer, many times this also results in the fact that you put a bigger, kind of a thicker band, even because almost for sure then it's going to be much more of a range. So even if you go in the smaller time frame, you can see it. So bam, yeah, this is pretty much range bound. Then is it worth to put one in here? I think this is more likely the level, but this is not in here. No, this got respected because it got respected in here when people were like, yeah, we're going to the stars, and then no, and then got respected partially over here, and when it broke bad. Got respected here and got respected over here, and people were like, whoo, the lifeboat, thank you very much, you know. So it kind of makes sense. Plus actually this level was probably more, this was more this of the level, to be honest. So actually this one, sorry legends, I feel like I be looking it a little bit too close, and this one was actually lower. It's more like this, the level. Okay, and now you can also put it together a little bit better, but yeah, well, like this, maybe this level was respected better in here, but as you can see, this is a range, because in here it never touched it and double bottomed, and in some other places it didn't reach it by descent. So this one was a range between 51 more or less and 54. So yeah, that's like a 3-4% of the range, let's say. So yeah, okay, well, cool, like a 2-3% of the range. So yeah, this was a band. All right, so what can I expect next? Now, okay, let's just be pessimistic once again, because, you know, so much fun to be. So in case I really think, hey, this is not going to go. I believe that if it goes, okay, now let's say you're trading at 13. Now, in year at 13, you buy it only if you like to be a kamikaze, because there is no logic point in which it would make sense. You would not buy it in year, and you need to be completely, right now you need to be completely mad. Right now it's a short, it's not a long. If you are day trading, this is a short for me, because now you can see also this part, trend line, bam, went, che cazzo ne so, allora, ok, in here, I can see this. Okay, I can see this, and the reason now I see it better. Sorry, legend. But you see, like here, and here kind of created a wedge, but this wedge was quite extended. Now, if you want to put a smaller time frame, this wedge was contained in this part, was more than the 50%. But when it crashes, if it goes up, then yeah, sweet, like go long. But if it crashes from here, you can expect that at least we retrace down 1-2 levels, as I said before. So then that's the moment, get out or go short, to be honest, unless you really believe in the project and you can't sell it, because otherwise you need to declare the taxes, let's put it this way, on the capital gains, and then you need to buy it again, and that costs you more in the end, so you don't want to do it. But slumps, and went basically from 16 all the way down to 10 to retrace back, and then did a wild ride back around 16. Here at 16, this one is a level more important if you are trading in a smaller scale, of course. From here, went down again. This one formed a death cross. So this was like, hey, this is bad. In here, it really tried to retrace it, and then it touched down again. So this one, it's a Death Star, I think. Not Morning Star, I think this one is a Death Star, because this shows that the price went up, pulled down just as quick, so sayonara. Like, you see, this one, morning, it's bearish, but okay, anyway, like, doesn't matter. This one, anyway, created a very wide leg down, and then got bought up right away after. Even if then it was still lower than as it opened, it was not that much. So then, as a result, it went high. But then it went high, in here it went too high, too quick, and then it went down again. So, when it does this micro kind of formation, you can most likely imagine that the price will most likely kind of keep dropping of a little bit. I expect the price to go to like 11 or something. Now we are at 13, so you don't want to buy it now, because if it goes at 11 and I'm right on this bounce, then yeah, okay, you're down on $2, which is yeah, $2, I give it in charity. Yeah, sure, but if you enter with 1,000 of these ones, because you are in a position of margin or something, and then you're having 1,000 times $2 that is going against you. So your wallet has $2,000 less. Can you afford it? Did you enter with the margin that was too high? You go to hell, not to heaven. So this is also the way. So from here, it goes all the way up. It goes all the way up to here. But first, it needs to break this 15. Now it's creating a death cross on top. But the only other part is that on this kind of downtrend resistance, it's now a support, and it kind of respects it just as much as it did downwards. What I imagine from here is that this consolidation does not look good enough, it's not even high enough. So I imagine that the price will go around the area of like 11, let's say, to make it simple. And then I don't know what else. It's probably going to maybe do a little touchdown at 10, just below 10, and then we are in for the ride. At 11, you can start considering buying, because you can put $2 kind of slack, knowing that if instead it goes up, you have like $3-4 of upside. So now it becomes a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. If you do it in here, you know that the most likely price point at which it will do some crazy move in a way or in the other, it's 14. So I'm still buying in these moments, but I'm trying to rewire my brain and think that this is kind of gambling, because it's more likely that he will not do the move that you hope, because it's more likely that he will just follow the schemes. And if he breaks it, then you need to be ready. But for this, you can put alerts, for example. So what I expect from here, that now I think it's a bad moment to buy for internet computer, and probably it's going to retrace to maybe like 11, 10. At 10, you don't have $2 downside minimum, $2-3 downside, and $1.50 upside for this trade. You have the upside, so you don't have 1 to 2 reward to loss, no, risk reward. So you don't have a 2 to 1 risk reward, but then you have a 1 to 2 risk reward. So you are risking, say, $500 to make 1,000, and you are not risking 1,000 to make maybe 500, because that's a recipe for which either you are right 95% of the times, either in the long run you are going to end up under a bridge or under a train, depending in which city you are. So yeah, just don't do that. So okay, this is the situation now. Okay, Vella. Okay, now internet computer, blah blah. Okay, but okay, now it's 7 p.m. So I think I will call it for the day. And yeah, I need to finish setting up the channel, because I launched it yesterday. I didn't even see if there is many people watching or not. Probably not, but we'll see. I hope that you enjoyed this live streaming, and yeah, even if you watch it after, this one is a daily analysis, so it's going to be worth for at least the next week, 2 weeks. This probably will be confirmed over time. Time will tell. Thank you very much for watching. See you next video.